Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Nubeva's Technologies channel, a new essential layer of ransomware resilience. Joining us to kind of take us through some interesting multi-million dollar deals, kind of what's going on in the healthcare space. We've got Randy, the co-founder and chief executive officer. First and foremost, welcome back, sir.
Thank you. Great to be back, and great to have you guys back with us, actually.
Yeah, always a pleasure. You've kind of got a lot of fascinating things going on that I'm sure some of the retail guys would love to hear about. First and foremost, this
Sure.
multi-million dollar deal that you closed with a cybersecurity company that is kind of ensuring no supported costs. I kind of don't want to skew this too badly, but you're utilizing AI to kind of break this down. And in this nuanced realm of artificial intelligence, kind of tell us how you're utilizing this with your kind of ransomware, business or your technology and how
Abs-
it kind of relates to the cybersecurity company.
Absolutely. It's been a really exciting few months, as you know, since one of your one of the folks from North Equities actually introduced ChatGPT to us. So it's been only 7 months since we started using it. It just feels like it's completely integrated in the product. So first off, on the deal itself, it's an extremely exciting multi-million dollar deal crossing several years, and so we're very excited about that. This is a cybersecurity company that is licensing our product, and they 45 out of the top 50 global 500 customers of theirs are some of the largest businesses in the world. And so it's really exciting the fact that we have somebody so large and so profitable, so ingrained into every single business in the world, trusting our product and licensing us. So our product is actually, our licensed product is actually running in the product. And the most exciting part of this, I was just talking to people about this, is that typically in the past, I've done startups after startups after startups. Typically, when you close a 7-figure deal, you go on to this hands on fire kind of a situation where whatever they ask, you do, right? So whatever they need, we start jumping onto the support factors. Whatever features the product managers ask, we go and do. That's not the case here. And the only reason, there's actually no support costs for us. There's no additional support costs to support this deal. It is incredible the fact that I can actually tell you that. Typically at this point, I would tell people, hey, we're highly leveraged. We can hire more people. We can do more with it. In this particular case, not the case. Everything that we have can support this and more. And that comes from the fact that entire product line and our support mechanism, our processes have AI and ChatGPT completely ingrained into the product cycle itself. So that's probably, I'm excited in closing a multi-million dollar deal as I am in being able to say the fact that it's not going to cost us any additional amount of resources to support this deal. So.
Yeah, this is incredible. And speaking of the product lineup side of things, I mean, you're kind of looking
Mhm.
at the healthcare space with this new initiative. Do you want to talk about how you're kind of breaching into this newer market?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's take a step back before we get into a healthcare vertical for a second. When any enterprise gets hit by ransomware, on the average, it takes 22 days after they've paid the ransom. So in other words, not any of the other permutations, pay partially, pay this, pay that, not pay them, et cetera, right? So after they've decided, they've had meetings, they've had insurance, understand everything, the board has met, an enterprise will take another 22 days before they're actually back and running as reasonably as one can say, call it running. Okay. And even then, it still takes 6 to 12 months before they're fully recovered. Now you start looking into verticals and industries. Healthcare is kind of an obvious one. You really have to have all your data back. I was talking to one of my investors that, in fact, he's an investor in Nubeva. He was an investor at Panzura, my last company, and he was a customer at Aruba. So 3 different startups, which I've had a relationship with this gentleman. And he was in the hospital. He got COVID, unfortunately, and he got COVID, and that hospital got hit by ransomware. And so when he got in, they were going to treat him. It was a true emergency. And so they were going to treat him, and they were asking him, hey, what's your history? What medications you're taking? And at that point, they didn't have all his data. So they just treated him for COVID. It turned out he had a blood thinner for his high blood pressure. And that created significant complications. It got worse than when he got in to the hospital itself. And so as you can imagine, just kind of expand that thought across anybody going into a hospital, getting, PT, et cetera, et cetera. The healthcare business is one in which, unless you have all your data, you can't you're not really functional. It's not like a retailer where if a retailer gets hit by a ransomware, they literally start taking paper and Excel spreadsheets. We've had a retailer customer do this, and they're fulfilling all their orders by hand, right? Jeez, this is all hands on deck and everybody doing it by hand, the good old way, until their computers are up and running. Well, you can't really do that at all in healthcare. you must actually address the issue at hand. At the same time, when you look at healthcare as a entire vertical, it's not doing as well as previous years. And so they're going through a situation where they have to find the most efficient, from a research standpoint, from a cost standpoint, the most efficient solution to address their top problems. And their top concern right now from a cybersecurity standpoint. In fact, I could even go out and say, entire IT standpoint, their number one priority is to make sure they don't get a ransomware, and if they get it, how to get back and running.
Well, at this point, I definitely appreciate the insights, and I'll pass that question off to the viewers. We'd love to know what you think about all of this in that comment section below, and consider subscribing, because when news hits the wire, we're going to continue to update you here. But on that, we look forward to catching you in the next one.
Thank you. My pleasure.